The next person I'd like to introduce to is the Shadow Minister of Environment, Andrew Powell. He's not only just the Shadow Minister, he's been up to Cairns, I've met him, he's shared the experiences of being up there and heard the stories about the cutting up turtles and dugongs, and I'm very, very happy to have him here today. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks very much, Colin. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to see the Speaker's Corner that isn't a corner being used for what it was designed to do. We were here at the opening of it about 12 months ago, and it's great to be seeing it being used in this way. And it's great that you've been able to come out today and to support Colin and to support Bob. Can I also acknowledge Glenn Elms, member for Noosa, and the most recent, or one of the most recent Shadow Ministers for the Environment. What I'm about to share with you today is largely the work of Glenn Elms. So, yeah, give him a clap. Give him a clap. Can I also pass on the apologies of Campbell Newman? He was keen to be here. Unfortunately, he's had to head north.
No, in all honesty,
and in all honesty, he did.
he was.
And also the apologies of Greg Hunt, the Federal Shadow Minister for the Environment. Obviously, Parliament is sitting at the moment in Canberra, and he asked me to convey his apologies. What he has provided me with, though, so that you get the full picture of what the Coalition at the federal level and what the LNP at the state level are offering in terms of protection for dugongs and turtles. So at the federal level, the Coalition has a 3-point plan to address dugong and sea turtle poaching. Firstly, $2.6 million in additional funding, and I'll explain where that money's going shortly. Secondly, a total ban on the killing of dugongs and sea turtles in the green zone. And thirdly, a 90% reduction in the take of dugongs and sea turtles throughout far north Queensland. The Coalition will provide a total of $2.6 million in additional funding for dugong and turtle protection, comprising $1.6 million for specialised Indigenous ranger programs for marine conservation along the far north Queensland coast. This will provide additional officers on the water and on the land to crack down on dugong and turtle poaching and the illegal trade in dugong and turtle meat. There'll be an additional $1 million towards helping to clean up marine debris along the far north Queensland coast, the Torres Strait Islands and the Coral Sea. Marine debris, especially ghost nets, provide significant risk to dugongs and turtles. We will consult, support and work with Indigenous communities in dealing with these threats. Greg goes on to say the Coalition's $2.6 million dugong and turtle protection plan would initially run for 2 years and be subject to extension based upon its success. The program would be administered in consultation with Indigenous communities and the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. There should be a self-imposed moratorium until the Coalition can legislate for the 100% green zone ban and the 90% reduction overall in far north Queensland. That is the Coalition's commitment, that is their policy that they will be taking to the next federal election. At the state level, we're doing a few things to assist. Firstly, we will amend the Animal Care and Protection Act, as was spoken about by Colin and as was spoken about by Bob. I wish it was as simple as a couple of pen strokes, Bob. It's going to take a little bit more than that, but we will do it.
How long?
We've committed to do it in our first term. It'll be done as soon as we can.
But that, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to.
Yep.
Does that take 3 years or?
No, it doesn't take 3 years.
I'll be checking in 100 days.
Because I'm sort of.
I'm watching Colin on those glass doors, and as soon as he starts pressing his face up, I know I've got about a day left. We'll also progressively expand the successful permit and licensing system that's been developed in the northern peninsula area of Cape York in all key habitats across the east coast of Australia. That is where Indigenous communities will work with their own hunters to permit them and then restrict the number of dugongs and turtles they actually take. To do that, we also will be contributing, we've made an announcement to 30 additional Indigenous rangers around the state on top of the 30 that the current government has committed over the next few years. So there's 60 additional Indigenous rangers coming over the next 3 years. Vast proportion, a certain percentage of those, somewhere between 10 and 20, will be designated to dugong and turtle protection. And as Colin pointed out, the trade of dugong products and turtle products and meat is alive and well. We will use those rangers, we will work with those rangers, with the Indigenous communities to see a halt to that illegal trade. That's our commitment at the state level. It balances out what the federal coalition is aiming to do. And I thank the work of Colin, of Bob, of the many people in far north Queensland who have spoken to me about it. And I look forward to hopefully implementing that after March the 24th this year. Cheers.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. I'd like to call Glenn Elms to the microphone. Glenn and I have gone back a couple of years. He joined me not long after I started this, and he's been a fantastic supporter. And also, since he bought me tea the last time, I'd really like to welcome my friend back. And a lot of people here know you, so if you'd like to say a few words, please, Glenn.
Thanks, Colin, and welcome to Parliament House, everyone. It's a great pleasure to see so many groups who are represented here today. Can I just start by asking, particularly amongst all the conservation groups, who's had a conversation on the telephone or otherwise with Colin Riddell? Let's look at it. You'll know how difficult it is to say no to Colin Riddell. I don't think anyone ever has. I doubt if anyone ever will. Ladies and gentlemen, in my time in the Parliament, I've been involved in 4 rallies, if you like, a bit like this. The first one was the Koala rally that we did here a couple of years ago, and we brought some buses down from my electorate of Noosa. Then there was the rally we did slightly a shorter time frame from that, which was to do with saving the dingoes on Fraser Island. And I note there's some people here from that particular group. And then, of course, we've got today, which from Colin's point of view is to do with just the inhumane slaughter of dugongs and turtles, particularly in far north Queensland. There are 3 things that I've been very proud to do in my time in the state parliament, and there are 3 things that I'm going to continue to follow through with Andrew Powell, who's the current and will be the next Minister for the Environment in the Queensland Parliament. This is a great turnout. This is a really, really great bloke, and please follow his blogs. Please look at what Colin Who Cares is doing, because he always does the right thing and he follows it through. And if anyone is going to make sure that we save and we protect dugongs and turtles, not only throughout North Queensland but throughout the state, it's going to be this guy here. Bob Irwin is the other guy that I would like to particularly mention. If there is I've lost Bob, he's around somewhere, but if there is a father of conservation in this state, it's Bob Irwin. Just a terrific fellow. He doesn't say anything too loudly, but let me tell you again, when you have a conversation with him, you don't miss what's coming from his mouth. He's very sincere, he's very distinct, and from the point of view of getting across his message, there are very few powerful voices in this state like Bob Irwin. So I would like you to look after Bob, and to look after my good friend Colin Who Cares. Can I say that I rest easy in my bed at night knowing that Andrew is going to be the next Environment Minister, because I know of what the work that he's done. I know the conversations that he has and the pledges he's received from Campbell and the hierarchy of the opposition that's going to see a lot of wrongs righted in this state. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along, and look after my good friend Colin Who Cares. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. I'd really like to thank the LNP for coming today. I'm a staunch Labor voter, have no doubt in your minds. I'm an ex-union delegate of the 7 years in the Meat Workers Union, Builders Labourers Federation, 7 years AMW site convener. I cost the Liberal government $330 million in 2001, the Howard government. I'm no friend of the Liberal government, but they're going to change the act, so they're my friends. Those grubs in there, my 4 local Dodo members, which I showed you, one of his officers right across over those products were for months. They do nothing, they're useless, and they've got to go. I'm an LNP supporter of this election, and I'm going to be a staunch supporter of the LNP if they do what they promise. If not, I'm coming through those doors, you can bet on it.